Ladies and gentlemen, but mainly gentlemen, let me introduce you to the Asus ROG Strix SCAR Edition with a 144Hz display. Oh yeah. Right, so it's obviously a safe bet to assume the display is pretty killer, right? Well, it is, but what about everything else? It's all pretty rad too. Starting with the design, you know how most gaming laptops look like the designers are huge Alien vs Predator movie fans? Well, either Asus told them to chill the fuck out, or these guys finally got the hint that we're not looking to fly our laptops to space. Instead, they gave this one a nice and tame look that I'm really into, something you can actually break out in class or at work and not be left out of the room. Although we've still got a backlit ROG logo on the lid that can't be turned off or dimmed, but I mean, if I'm being honest, I kinda dig that shit. Speaking of the lid, it's made with a dark, almost gunmetal looking brushed aluminum with a slightly out of place plastic band at the top for the wireless antennas. Fingerprints don't show up quite as well as those god-forsaken glossy plastic lids that literally no one on the face of the earth likes, but yeah, you'll still want to pack a microfiber with you. The rest of the chassis is plastic, which I don't think any of us are all that surprised with, but it feels like a sturdier, higher quality plastic. No clue if it is or not, but it feels like it. And for a gaming laptop, it's also pretty thin at 2.4 centimeters and pretty light at 2.6 kilograms. So like, if the SCAR was a runway model, it'd be just as malnourished as the rest of them. Have you seen those girls? Jesus Christ. For upgradability, we've got super easy access to the 2 DDR4 RAM slots, the NVMe slot, and the 2.5-inch SATA slot. If you wanted to take it a step further and say replace the thermal paste, you're just a quick 18 screws away from removing the bottom. There's a dirty joke in there somewhere. Drop me a comment below if you can think of one. We've got a pretty awesome selection of I/O with 4 USB-A 3.1 ports, 1 USB-C port with Thunderbolt 3 support that'll let you drive up to 3 external displays, an SD card reader mini display port, HDMI 2.0 mic and headphones combo jack, and an Ethernet port. So yeah, pretty decent, dude, but lift the lid and daddy likey. Okay, so first off, a small but important detail to me personally. In the middle of the display hinges is this cutout, so you can see your LED status lights at a glance instead of on the front underneath the trackpad. I cannot stand that shit, so from the bottom of my cholesterol-ridden heart, thank you, Asus. There's an intake vent just above the keyboard, and the keyboard deck is about as solid as my plan to get back at all my bullies from high school, you mother. Now, while it looks like it's made from carbon fiber at a price point of only a little over 1,800 bucks, I'm almost positive it isn't. The typing experience feels okay. It's a little soft for my preference, like I prefer being punched in the fingers, but with this, it's more about sinking my fingers into mashed potatoes, which can be a pleasant experience all on its own, but really comes down to personal preference. I don't know. I do like that there's gaps between the function keys and that the spacebar is designed so that it's easier to smash in a hurry. 4-zone LED backlighting can be customized with the Aura software. Unfortunately, you can only customize those 4 zones, not per key, even though each key is capable of producing each color. The trackpad is from Elon with precision drivers, and it's been excellent. The left and right mouse buttons are pretty rad too, with a really nice, solid, and controlled click. Love them. So, the display. What we're looking at is a 15.6-inch 1080p IPS panel with 144Hz refresh rate, G-Sync, 100% sRGB, and 300 nits of brightness. And yeah, it's insane to game on. Everything is buttery smooth. Objects are crisp and colors look awesome, and screen flex is minimal. It's just a phenomenal display for the money. Now, when it comes to software, the SCAR isn't too bad, but it does still come with the usual BS like McAfee and all the usual Windows crapware. But with the Asus Gaming Center app, you can monitor your system performance, set up gaming profiles, and switch display image modes. Pretty standard stuff, but it's still really nice to have. Now, let's talk about how it runs games, which is what I assume you'll be doing with it, not looking up instructional videos on how to knit, which I mean, I guess you could. In fact, you could also probably. And that's why that cat was never seen again. Crazy story, eh? Anyways, what was I talking about? Gaming performance. The SCAR packs a GTX 1070, 16 gigs of RAM, although there is configs for 32, a 256 gig NVMe SSD for the OS, a 1 terabyte Seagate FireCuda SSHD for data, and an Intel i7-7700HQ. Now, parallel that with a 144Hz display with G-Sync, and you've got something worthy of compensating for something you don't have. Know what I mean? With Fortnite on Epic, I was getting an average 100 FPS, Overwatch on Epic an average 98 FPS, and Battlefield 1 on high I saw an average of 85 FPS, so you shouldn't have any problems whatsoever running the latest AAA titles. Now while that impressed me, the thermal management really tickled my balls. Under full load, I don't think I ever saw the GPU go above 83 degrees Celsius, and I don't believe the CPU really ever went above 80 degrees Celsius. I think that's pretty decent, but keeping the system that cool isn't a quiet job. In other words, it can get as loud as that one asshole talking on the phone in line at the bank. I hate that guy. But like pretty much every laptop I've ever reviewed, I wear headphones, so when they're on, I can't hear anything but all my gaming fans cheering for me. I don't have gaming fans. Now, running idle or under very little load, bloody thing's next to silent. It's pretty great. But yeah, when it comes to gaming, this laptop's like taking Viagra. It makes you a hardened soldier. Okay, so how about battery life? Well, gaming on battery is shit. That's the long and short of it. You'll get about an hour and a half, but with just day-to-day tasks at medium brightness, I was seeing times from 2 to 3 hours depending on what I was doing. So for 1,800 bucks, or actually let's just call it 2 grand, because you all know how tax likes to bend you over like you're in the middle of a prostate exam, you're getting an awesome little murdered out looking laptop that crushes games with a rad display. My only complaint is that like most laptop speakers, these are fairly weak, but they do sound clear and they're also side firing, which is pretty nice. Well then, I think that about does it for this one. Let me know what you guys think about the laptop. Still think it's worth building your own gaming PC with all the price inflation going on? Anyways, do me a solid and show me some love with that like button. And if you're new to my stuff, don't forget to subscribe for new videos every week. But thanks as always for watching, and I'll talk to y'all in the next one. Cheers.